Relax. It's ASMR. Hello everyone. Today's video is a bit special. It is a collaboration video. The ASMRtist Miss Vindicat had asked me to do a collaboration video with her in celebration of her 10 years as an ASMRtist. And I think that is amazing. And I immediately said, yes, I would love to do that. So she's asked me to talk a little bit about my ASMR experience and my ASMR channel and how I got started and things like that. So I thought that would be an excellent topic to cover. And while I'm doing that, I have these markers that I got a year or two ago, and I need to test them out to make sure that they still work. So I thought we could be testing some different colored markers on this paper while I chatted about ASMR. So please go over to Miss Vindicat's channel and wish her a happy 10 years of making ASMR videos, and check out all the wonderful stuff that she does as well. So to get started, I'm just going to pick a marker here, and I'm just going to be drawing some random doodles just to check out and see what works and what doesn't. They're not that old. I don't anticipate them being too dried out, but you never know. It's always good to check. So let's start up here in this corner. Just draw some shapes. Nothing specific. Now, I think that's one of my first ASMR experiences, even though I had no clue what that was. I don't think most people do that are above a certain age. Because back 10, 11 years ago, ASMR really didn't have as much widespread exposure as it does today. So I know that I definitely felt tingles in elementary school. While I can't necessarily remember a specific time, it usually was around someone paying me close personal attention. Most likely a teacher explaining something to me, or a fellow classmate and I talking about something. I do have somewhat of a memory of like computer class and sitting there at the terminal and having the teacher come up behind me and explain something about what was going on the screen. But I don't know if that is a realistic memory or just something that I have put together to explain a typical scenario. So I can't say that is a true memory because the brain likes to play tricks on you. So I don't remember feeling a whole lot of tingles other than elementary school, probably some in high school, and then it tended to fade out, but still ever so often through college and into my mid-20s and on. And I had kind of basically forgotten about it as a thing. I did not experience them regularly in order to even have it something that was on my mind. Cut to many years later, sometime in 2011, I was not doing so well. And I've told this story before on my channel, so some of you have probably heard it. I was having problems with my back. the issue, although I did not know it necessarily at the time, was that I was missing the lowest disc in my vertebrae that cushioned between my backbone and my pelvis, or my hips. And that was missing, so the bones were basically resting on top of each other. And for the most part, that doesn't cause too much trouble because that's not a joint that moves a whole lot. But I had stepped off of a curve the wrong way and jolted my backbone. And that kind of twinged a nerve or something like that. And then I would be standing on my feet for a long time. Those muscles around that joint would start to ache. And I would get these massive jolts of pain and my muscles would grab and I'd basically hit the floor. So that scared me a lot. And so I was more careful with my back than in reality I should have been because I was not exercising those muscles. And so they were just getting weaker. And that was not what I should have done. But I didn't know it at the time. All I knew was my back really hurt. And it felt better when I sat down in a chair. Now, luckily, my work is office work as a designer. So it was not keeping me from working. But it was impeding on other parts of my life. So the time in which I could stand on my feet was getting shorter and shorter. And it was impacting things like me standing and taking a shower. And I would have to take very quick showers. I couldn't be in there very long. And I had to go back and sit down in a chair. Or I knew my back would grab. And I would be in a lot of pain. So while I wasn't 100% confined to my chair, I was sitting down quite a lot. And I knew enough to restrict my calories since I knew I was not burning anywhere near the amount of calories I normally did. But in reality, I was just making the problem worse. So it was in that I had plenty of times on my hands, and I was searching around for something. I can't remember what it was, but I was stressed out. I was not in a good place mentally, for sure. And at some point in time, I stumbled upon whispering videos and ASMR videos. And I've done a video specifically about some of the first ASMRtists that I followed, and I'll link that in the description. But it didn't take me too long to realize that this was something that was creative. It reminded me about the tingles that I used to feel. I knew that I could feel them. As I watched the videos, it started to come back. And I realized that it was helping me mentally to calm down, to de-stress, to kind of handle the situation mentally a little better. And then I moved pretty quickly, within a day or two, to deciding that this is something that I could do on my own. I was sitting in front of a computer that had a camera, and I had bought a kind of web camera for something, I can't remember exactly what it was, so I already had it on my computer, on my Mac. And so I played around with some of the settings. I already knew how to do video editing from my design work and other things that I have done in the past. So I had the software. I knew how to do that. The question was, could I do good ASMR videos? So on November the 13th in 2011, I posted my first ASMR video. And it was me drawing on a piece of paper, similar to what I'm doing now, except I was using a pencil. So that's one of the other reasons I thought this would be a really great video to make for this. Kind of bring it full circle. So I want to show a clip of that video for you so you can kind of get an idea of what my first ASMR video was like. Okay, for my first video, I thought I would do just some drawing, some basic sketching, and this is more of just a kind of test or proof of concept to see how this turns out. With this camera and with this setup. To see if you can hear the paper and the pencil sounds. And if this picks up my voice okay. So I thought I'd just draw some sketches. I used to draw a lot like this when I was in school, just to relax. Let my pencil just kind of sweep across the paper. Let's see. I think we need to sharpen our pencils here. That one doesn't look like it's going to work very well. Let's try a different one. Much better. Hopefully, I'll get some suggestions of different types of things, maybe to draw or to do or to talk about. I hope my voice is soothing or pleasing or something. Whatever it is that triggers. So, just fill in some details here. And I also have to learn things like what is the time limit on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, because I've never done anything like that before either. But I do find this relaxing and enjoyable. So I hope you do too. So I think I'll stop here and learn about how to upload these videos to YouTube and see what kind of response I get. So that was it. That was the first time I tried to do ASMR with the microphone and the camera that I just had on my computer. And I'm sure that's how most ASMRtists, especially those in the beginning, were doing it. We didn't really have a lot of knowledge about resources and cameras, and there certainly wasn't a market for microphones and things that were made specifically for the ASMR market. So we were just working with what we had. I didn't know a whole lot about editing for sound or removing noises in the background or anything like that. So that's why that video is a little rough. But it got me started, and it got me to realizing that I could do it, that I could, in fact, create videos. And I did want people to watch. I wanted people to experience ASMR like I did. So I wanted them to find my channel. So that is the reason why I gave it the very literal name, ASMR Vids. I was hoping that that would be a pretty strong name for the algorithm in YouTube when people were searching for ASMR. I don't know how successful that has been, but people at least will know exactly what they're getting when they come to my channel. So I was in a great position to make quite a lot of videos because, like I said, I was just sitting at my desk for very long periods of time and not feeling all that productive. So this helped me not only to make ASMR videos, which I find to be a very calming process in and of itself. You kind of have to get in a mental state to do it well. I have found over the years that I do not make ASMR videos well when I'm slightly buzzed from having something to drink. You would think that would be the opposite, but it is not. I do my best ASMR work when I am very conscious about what I'm doing and thinking about what I want to say and not just kind of winging it. Even though I don't write scripts, I do kind of think out in my head ahead of time a little bit what I want to say. I don't know what it's like for other ASMRtists, but that's what it's like for me. So doing ASMR was helping me not only calm down as I made the videos, even though I don't really feel ASMR from my own videos, but I do feel very calm and relaxed. But it was also helping me feel productive. I was feeling that I was creating something, I was contributing to a growing community, and most importantly, I was starting to get feedback from people who were watching my videos and subscribing to me. And that helped mentally in a way that I did not expect it to. Hearing from people who were stressed out and using my videos to help them unwind or deal with panic attacks or deal with situations that were incredibly and rightfully very stressful, and being able to come home at the end of a stressful day and put on one of my videos and fall asleep. And that's when I realized the power of ASMR and began to discover the ASMR community as more and more people came on board and were making videos. And we were kind of all exploring what this ASMR was all about together. And the community has changed and grown over the years. And kind of what ASMR means and what can fall under the heading of ASMR has changed and grown. But I don't think that the core understanding of the community, as far as being very caring, very concerned for their subscribers and their viewers, I think that continues on. I think ASMR artists in general and people who watch and appreciate ASMR tend to be a very relaxed, chill, lovely group of people. I think I have a privilege of being male, and so I do not get a lot of the creepy comments that I know that a lot of female ASMR artists have to deal with, and that is unfortunate. But I do know that when I have gotten rude and nasty comments, that it is oftentimes the people in my own comment group or the people who are commenting on my videos that stand up and tell the person basically they don't know what they're talking about, or to leave me alone, or whatever it is, in a very nice way. I have had to delete a few comments, especially when people start dropping the F-bomb and stuff like that. And I'll just go ahead and just annihilate that whole section of the comments. But I have to say that the vast majority of the people that I have interacted with in the ASMR community, both creators and watchers and viewers, are amazing, compassionate, empathetic people. And that is an amazing part of a community that I don't want to give up, and keeps me going and motivates me to make videos even when I'm super busy and I don't think I have the time. I realize that I'm not making these necessarily for myself. I'm making them for a community. So I also wanted to show you guys one of my favorite early videos that I did pretty early on. Like I said, I started in November. This is a video that I did in December of 2011. And I was sitting at my desk, and it was early in the morning. It was probably on a weekend. And I had the curtain pulled back from my window, and the sun was shining in on a glass that I was drinking water out of. And the way that it was glowing on my desk immediately made me want to capture it because it was so beautiful. So luckily I already had the equipment set up and ready to go. So I decided to incorporate some color. So I got some food coloring, and I got more glasses of water, and I did a combination of color and light and sound as I worked with the water in these glasses, pouring it back and forth and making different colors. So I'll show you a clip of that right now. It's one of my favorite videos that I've ever done, just from a visual standpoint. It was very serendipitous. I've tried to recreate this for other videos, and it just hasn't quite ever come together like this. So enjoy this clip, and I'll put a link to the full video down in the comments as well. Well, today I thought I'd work with some water pouring and some colors, and seeing how the colors mix together with the water, and hopefully there'll be some nice pouring water sounds. And I don't think I'll talk very much during it. I may say a few things. Okay? So I think we'll start with yellow. That's better. beautiful color. Look at that. It's amazing. So, like I said, I really like that clip. I think it's beautiful, not only from a visual standpoint, but also from an audio standpoint. I would like to maybe redo that video now that I have better audio equipment to capture some more of the more subtle water sounds. I had actually not realized that I had done it quite that early in my YouTube career. I thought I had done it much later, like a year or two, but it was only a few months into creating videos that I made that one. So eventually, I went to the doctor about my back because I stopped being all macho about it and realized that it was severely impacting the quality of my life. So my doctor said, well, we need to get you to a physical therapist, and we also need to do a detailed scan of everything that's going on in your back. So we did that. That's when we discovered that, yep, you are missing a disc in your back completely. And so it's no wonder that you are in pain. And they said there are surgery options to go in and fuse those discs together, but that they really didn't want to do that except as a last resort. So they asked me to try physical therapy, and I started going. And the physical therapy was amazing. It hurt a lot. Very simple things like standing up and sitting down in a chair without pushing off using your hands. Things like not crossing your legs. Things that I did not know that I was doing that was actually making the situation worse. So they had me strengthen up and down my shoulders, my mid-back, my lower back, doing all kinds of weights and steps and standing up and sitting down over and over again. And my back would just ache and ache. But then they'd put me on a table and they'd do massage therapy on me and relax those muscles. And I always knew that I was at least going to walk out of there feeling better and stronger than when I walked in. And over the course of about, I would say, 6 months, I slowly was able to stand more. I was able to sit on hard surfaces for longer. And I initiated a more strenuous and regular exercise routine that also helped tremendously. Because one of the best exercises for that part of the body is walking. So I had done some walking regularly before. I had kind of gotten out of the habit. And now I had a very distinct and powerful motivation to get myself moving. But I don't think if it had been for those problems that I was having with my back, that I would have discovered or had the motivation or the time or the courage to actually start a YouTube channel. So, out of everything, there's always some sort of silver lining. So the next video I wanted to show you guys was my most viewed video. It is the first video that I have that got over 1 million views. And it is a video that I shot on March 17th of 2013. And it's called Sculpture Toy 3. And it is those floam blocks or toys that were very popular for a while. And I had been working with how to make my own and buying some as I found them in the store. And for whatever reason, the stars aligned and the sounds that came off of this particular block of floam that I had were spectacular. And I think it probably got picked up on a few places and featured in some other ASMR compilations or something. I'm not quite sure why, but this video blew up. So I'll play you a clip of that now. So, like I said, that was the third video that I had done with that type of material. And I have quite a few of them on my channel. Some of them I actually show how to make it, and others I just find some different brands of it in the store and try to make some of those great ASMR sounds from it. So I'll put a link to that as well, maybe some of the other ones in the description. And probably the funniest video I've ever made, or at least the viewers and the commenters have thought it to be very funny, and I had a great deal of fun making it, was a makeup video that I did. This was in 2014. In that year, my wife's father passed away, and my mother-in-law came to live with us. And she had Alzheimer's that was just starting to really get bad. And so we took her into our house and took care of her. And that meant that we needed to sell her parents' house that was in another part of the state. So in the process of going through their house, I found a whole box of makeup from the 80s. Late 80s, probably, maybe early 90s. And I decided to do a video since I didn't really have any makeup available. My wife doesn't wear a ton of it. And so I never really had the opportunity to do a makeup video. But suddenly I had all of these makeup supplies. And I really had no clue about what to do with them. I figured trying to do a serious one was out of the question, just from lack of knowledge and having no desire to make a complete fool of myself. Knowledge-wise, I decided to just go with it and make a complete fool of myself for humor's sake. So here is a video of me doing your makeup, fully admitting that I have no clue what I'm doing. And it's still new in the package. So I tried to use that to kind of educate myself on doing your makeup. But it really wasn't helpful, because this just says that it's makeup. I thought it was all makeup, but apparently some things are makeup and some things aren't makeup. So this is smooth, aqua smooth. So it's something to do with water, but it's smooth. So I think water's pretty smooth. So let's see here. Let's open this up. And then I guess this is the makeup. It looks kind of skin colored though. It doesn't look like ivory. Ivory's like elephant tusks, and that's kind of this color. But maybe that's what they meant. It's the color of the sponge. Anyway, it says classic color. So I assume you know what that color that is, the classic one. So, but it kind of looks like the color of the makeup. So you may end up coming out all one color. Fine. I think we need a bigger brush. I think I have one here. I found this thing as well. I don't know if it came from a hospital or not. It says clinic on it. But I hope it's okay. It was with all the other makeup, so I figure if we want to make your face red, we've got to use a lot of this stuff. So let's get a really big brush. Okay. Let's really put it on. I have this, which looks like a pencil. Yeah. I know what I can do. Yeah. I should be able to put your eyebrows back. Let's hold still. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah. That's working pretty well. So, like I said, I had a lot of fun doing that. I should probably look at doing something similar to that again, if I can find a suitable subject matter. I don't want to just buy makeup and waste it. This was stuff that was obviously bad and obviously hadn't been used in quite a long time, so I did not feel bad about using it. I figured that was better than just straight up throwing it away. The next video I want to show you all is probably, I would say, the video that I've made that is still going strong. I still get regular comments on it, The floam video has kind of calmed down a little bit after probably about 2 or 3 years of it really being my most viewed video. Now I would say that it is a video, again, from this time. This is July 29th of 2014. This was at the same kind of period. I was taking care of my in-laws' house. I was getting it ready to be sold. I was setting up for the auction that we had of all of their tools and some of their household items that we didn't need. And they live way out in the country. And I was sitting there. I brought all of my equipment with me to make videos. And there's a whole series of videos I did at their house while I was just basically cutting the lawn, making sure that everything in the property was kept up, and making small repairs. So I had a lot of time on my hands. So I was pretty much by myself for 2 or 3 days, and so I made videos. And I came home late from eating out one night, and I was just listening to the sounds of the country. So I set up my binaural microphones in my ears, and I just covered myself in mosquito spray and sat out on the back porch of their house for probably a good 2 to 3 hours in the early evening, and it just kind of let the evening deepen around me and just recorded the sounds of the crickets and the very, very distant traffic you can hear on the road, and a dog barking in the distance, which seems to bother some people a lot, but it was very faint. And I still get a lot of comments on that video, people coming across it, saying that they've watched it many, many times. And the fact that the video seems to trigger not necessarily ASMR as much as it does a deep sense of nostalgia for people who have lived in the country like I did growing up and miss the sounds of those warm summer nights as they just kind of envelop the house, especially when you have the windows open and you're sleeping to the sounds of nature around you. So here is a clip from that video. And so the last video I want to show you guys a clip from, I would call my most controversial ASMR video. And it is the video that seems to drive the most people crazy about a specific topic. And it is not so much the video itself, although people do have a problem with that, but it is a problem with the title. And the title of the video is The Best Grilled Cheese Sandwich in the World, or something like that. Anyway, I used the words grilled cheese sandwich, and in the video, I put more on the sandwich than just cheese, and people have lost their mind about it. So that is the one I still, ever so often, will get a comment saying, That's not a grilled cheese sandwich. That's a melt. You should know the difference, and you should feel bad about yourself. Which I don't, but I see their point. That's fine. But I'm not going to reshoot and rename a video just because of that. I consider it to be a grilled sandwich that has cheese on it, among some other very delicious things. And I wanted to share how I made it and the ingredients, because I do enjoy making cooking videos on my channel. And I cannot wait until our kitchen is completely remodeled, although that's going to take quite a long time, because we have upgraded parts of the kitchen, but we haven't gotten to upgrading every part of the kitchen yet, so it doesn't quite look all that great. We basically need to put tiles on the walls in order for it to look like a proper kitchen again. So that has kind of slowed my baking and cooking videos down. But let me share you a clip of this very controversial but very delicious sandwich. Hello everyone. For today's video, we are going to be dealing with food again. And specifically, the food you see in front of you on the screen. This amazing grilled cheese sandwich. But it is made with eggplant and roasted peppers and tomatoes as its primary ingredients. And the second ingredient that I just happened to have in the house was this hot sauce called Spooky White. And I had gotten this probably about 3 days before I decided that I needed to make a grilled cheese sandwich. And in my opinion, the most important ingredient in a grilled cheese sandwich is obviously the cheese. So let's go over to the skillet. And I like to start out my grilled cheeses on a fairly low heat to melt the butter and warm up the bread and get the cheese to start to melt. Make it. Now there's a good color for a grilled cheese sandwich. Pretty much perfect right there. So let's plate it up. One sandwich. So, I hope that didn't freak you out too much. I hope you weren't completely offended that I consider that to be a grilled cheese sandwich. But I think you'll be able to handle it. So, those are the videos that I wanted to show you, kind of a general compilation of what I have worked on over the years. I so thoroughly enjoy making videos for you all. And I'm very grateful to Miss Vindicat for inviting me to make this video, which has given me the idea of even doing this kind of retrospective on my career as an ASMRtist, which sounds really weird to say, but it's true. So I will leave it at that. Enjoy Miss Vindicat's videos as well. I will put a link to that in the description as well. And let me know what you think about, if you've been watching for a while, what has been your favorite video or series of videos that I have done. Kind of jog my memory of some things that you would like me to revisit, maybe, to create a different, better, new, updated version. My latest video is a library tour, which I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I was looking back through my channel, and I have done 2 other library tours in the past. So this was kind of my 3rd tour of my library, which is kind of a neat way of seeing how my library has evolved over the years. So thank you all for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do. I've been making videos for 9 years, so I think I will probably be doing something very similar when I reach 10 years. So that will be a lot of fun. So there are plenty more to come, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.